game. Allow the lane to call in and disrupt the show. Welcome, everybody. Today we will not be here long because I will have a movie review of Sinners either tonight or tomorrow morning. I haven't decided yet. I'm either going to do my Sinners movie review tonight around like 7, 8 o'clock or tomorrow morning. But right now, I didn't want to get to that before I got to this, but I saw the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast yesterday, and welcome everybody. Welcome. If I didn't, hi to everybody. I'm not really looking at the chat right now because I want to get this out and play some stuff. Yesterday, on the Gillie and Wallo show, $1 Million Worth of Game, they conducted an interview with Corey Holcomb. There's been a long-standing beef between Corey Holcomb and Donnell Rawlings. Corey, for those of you who don't know, Corey Holcomb, host of 5150, is very opinionated, and he gives his opinions every Tuesday on his show. And I know for some years, he's been calling Donnell Rawlings a mild comic. Well, things came to a head last year. And I'm mad I wasn't there. I was like, he's like, man, I'm gonna go. And you end up not going, and then some shit happens. You like, fuck, I was free. And I could have been there, and my instincts told me to go there, and I didn't. Well, that was my experience with this night when Corey Holcomb was on stage, and Donnell Rawlings interrupted Corey Holcomb on stage. And as a comedian, as a professional artist, whenever an artist is on stage painting their picture or whatever it is, whether it be through song, comedy, poetry, you as another artist, you don't jump in and disrupt their painting of their picture for you to get something off your chest. You allow them to have their time with the audience, and then once they're done with the audience, then you get whatever it is off your chest. Well, Donnell Rawlings broke that rule. And so since then, of course, Corey went on to clown him as he would. Me personally, I remember one night at the Improv about a year ago, around the time Corey called Donnell Rawlings mild. I remember Donnell Rawlings, I was at the Improv that night, and Donnell had a really, really good set. I'm never going to say he's not funny. I think he's funny sometimes. I don't have the same, I don't share opinions with Corey on Donnell Rawlings' level of funny. I'm just going to say that. But is he as funny as Corey Holcomb? Hell motherfucking no. No. But he is a funny guy. And he had a really good set at the Improv that night. And I remember there's a bar at the Improv when you come out, like there's this at the Hollywood Improv, there's the room and the stage, and you come out and there's a bar area. Man, in that bar area after Donnell's set, I was there and I saw him, he was getting up on the chairs talking about something. Now who the fuck is a mild comic? Who mild? Slamming shit. And I'm looking at him like, nigga, tell Corey Holcomb that. Now, mind you, Corey wasn't there. But I saw it with my own two eyes. He was like, man, tell Corey Holcomb. He was really walking around the bar area at the Improv, pumped up. So just with my own two eyes, I saw like, damn, I've seen the stuff happen on YouTube, say whatever was said on YouTube. But I was like, Corey ain't even here. Dude, you had a good set. I was thinking, I thought it was weird because it's like, let your good set be your good set. Why you even bringing Corey Holcomb up? Nigga, you had a good set, roll with it. You know what I mean? But you can tell that Corey was on the brother's mind even when Corey wasn't there. And then so about an hour or so later, he left and Corey came like way after the night was over with. So I'm sure somebody, I know we told him what happened, but Corey wasn't there. But I saw with my own two eyes Donnell flipping out, bringing up Corey's name when Corey wasn't even there. That's when I went from, oh, this is some funny, ha ha he shit on the internet to, goddamn, this nigga serious. Well, on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, it was a cool interview. It was a cool interview. As far as it was certain areas, I'm not about to be critical of no damn interview because that's not what it's about. Corey always does a great job on interviews, but at midway through the interview, they called Donnell Rawlings on FaceTime, and Donnell ended up, for the most part, taking over the show. He, for the most part, took over the show. As far as it stopped being a Corey Holcomb interview and it started being a Corey Holcomb and Donnell Rawlings back and forth. And it got pretty funny, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I gotta get a screenshot from when I play these videos. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to show play audio of Donnell calling in, and then we are going to get back to it and then break down parts of this interview. But personally, I was like, I wanted to see a Corey Holcomb interview, but it turned up into a Corey Holcomb and Donnell Rawlings back and forth. And you're going to see in this interview that Donnell really loses his composure. I mean, really, 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 really loses it. Hold on 1 second. Come on, Rocky. There go Rocky. Rocky heard me talking, so he had to come on in here and kick it. But I'm not gonna play the whole interview because I thought it was gonna be a snippet, but I watched the whole hour and a half. Donnell took over the whole damn second half of the show. But you're going to see him really lose his composure. And personally, I thought it was unbecoming of him to crash out the way he crashed out. And I'm like, brother man, should no other man have you this emotionally charged, I shall say. Let me look for these timestamps. I got some timestamps I got to put on here. Let me get these timestamps right, and then we're going to get going. My timestamps, I basically took screenshots of where I was, where I started. All right, cool. So let's go into this emotionally charged interview, and let's talk about what went on. This is where it is. Is it here?
Evidently. Yeah, it ain't nothing like that. That's like.
Okay, let me go ahead. I don't want to have my and salute to everybody that watched my live last night. With the music, it is up now on Patreon. I got a cool copyright strike here on my channel. I knew I probably would get one, but it was just like, hey, I had a feeling that somebody needed to hear that music last night here on YouTube. That's not part of my Mixcloud audience. So I did it anyway. And so yeah, I got a strike. So I gotta watch it. So let's get into this interview right here.
Like I said, I saw him in Chicago one day. It was weird. Because I used to be a big fan of Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith, when I did the Shaq All-Star, he was sitting in this audience right next to Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the first.
This ain't the part I want. Let's see here.
Disrespect people. And then you was lying. So me. Absolutely. Everybody don't try you.
You slide him in and get a gallon of corn liquor.
He might be in L.A., dog. He son with you, and I said hello.
Okay, this is how it starts. So this is how it starts right here. The Gillie and Wallo, I get them two mixed up. I don't really follow they program, so I get the two mixed up. It's a whole bunch of jail talk to me, and I ain't got time listening to that shit. but I think it was Wallo, the one that was telling niggas that businesses are fucked up. He calls Donnell Rawlings. Listen to the intro, then we gonna get into it.
He was sitting between old
Yo,
boy
listen.
Who is that? That dude, he finally answered?
It's me and Gil here. What you mean bring the aggression down? Don't talk.
This is...
Look who right here.
Bring the aggression down, son.
You peanut head.
So this how it looks.
Yo, oh, nah, ain't no the phone up. Tell him the truth, son. Tell him the motherfucking truth. Y'all ain't gonna get no peace treaty on this shit. It's too far gone.
No, y'all got to get piece it up, man.
He don't want that, son.
What you mean I don't want that? I saw you walk. Hey, hold on. I saw you walk in the mall and you had your son with you, and I said hello.
I think I said hello, but I wasn't gonna take a chance. You hit me on that in front of my son, so
But I ain't never that type of dude. I ain't that type of dude.
I know physical is physical. You got physical trauma, mental trauma, and mental abuse, son. And you're very abusive, son. And you're abusive to the ones that love you. And I had a conversation with you that day when we was at the Improv, when you said you think I'm jealous of you. I didn't understand where that came from. But I said our personalities are similar where we don't with each other.
So that's how it starts. It starts off basically, saying that they had a conversation. So you see Corey trying to be civil, and then it starts to escalate. Let's get into where it escalates.
It too, dog.
Explain. This is a good time to talk about it. Explain what I lied about. And now if you think it's fair to bring my family with the...
Wait, no, go back a little further.
Respectful did be this who talking crazy to me while I ain't that type of guy.
I know, and I would fight back, but I don't understand what was the place when I was respectful to the situation. I told Ryan Cam, and he even played the video of me being neutral about it and explaining what my part of it was, and you still winning with that.
Hey man, you can't be respectful when you want to be respectful and then be this who talking crazy to me while I'm on stage. Come on, man.
I understand that part.
So right there, let's start off. I want to start off with that part. Corey made a good point. It got to this level of escalation when Donnell Rawlings went and disrespected Corey Holcomb while he was on stage. Why am I bringing that up? We live in a generation now. I call it this whole Drake generation that we live in now. And even though Donnell Rawlings is older than the Drake generation, in this back and forth, you see he's about the same mentally as the Drake generation. They want to start shit and then control the return. You can't start shit and then control how someone returns that shit to you. It's an old saying in the black community. Don't start none, won't be none. And if you cross somebody's line, you got to be down with whatever comes your way. The same way Drake talked about Whitney last year and talked about Kendrick's kids. When you do that, understand the gloves are off. That's why you got to watch what you say to people. And you got to watch how you say it. You got to watch. And if you don't want somebody to let all the way loose on you, hold your tongue. As an artist, every comic knows you don't address somebody while they're at work on stage. It's just like at work, at your job. No different than your job. If you got a discrepancy with somebody from where you from or whatever, you don't go to their job and address it. You wait till they come home. You go to a place where somebody makes their money, you're going to have to deal with some shit in return. So we see off top that Donnell wants to basically say, okay, I know I did some fucked up shit, but you still shouldn't have hurt my feelings. You still shouldn't have did that. Fellas, that ain't cool. Just as a man, that's not cool. That's not cool as a man. Okay? Don't start none, won't be none. That's a law of motherfucking nature. So let's go.
You know, that's an unwritten comedy. It's an unwritten rule that you don't yell out at the comedians.
No. How about this? When men disrespect each other, they fight or kill each other. That's why we don't disrespect each other, especially like that.
That right there too. Corey just said when men fight each other, when men disrespect each other, they fight each other or kill each other. That's another old lesson my father taught me. I was actually talking to my wife about this no less than 2 months ago. Men, like you never know where a man's button is. My father would always say, men don't talk, men kill. My father started teaching me that when I was 6, 7 years old. Because I've always been very slick with my mouth. I got the words like a motherfucker. Y'all know. Just wait till somebody in the chat room say something sideways. Y'all gonna hear it. But my father, he heard me talk at a young age. I guess my father realized, I gotta teach this nigga some game. Thank God for my father. My father would always say, men don't talk, men kill. So unless you willing to kill somebody, don't start it. Because you may throw a little pebble in fun, but that person may take it as you dropping an anvil on their head and want to go to war. So my dad, I thank God for my father teaching me that. In the early 90s, late 80s. That's why, father, you got to give your children some game. But Corey just gave some real life game. When men go to war, men kill each other. That's just a law of nature, and that's why I don't recommend starting war with people, because you don't know where it's going to go.
But I don't get grimy, though, Corey.
But no, you can't disrespect people. And then you was lying. You was lying about it too, dog.
Explain. It's a good time to talk about it. Explain what I lied about. And now, if you think it's fair to bring my family with this and be critical, this is my problem. I don't give a...
Right here. Do you think it's fair to bring my family? Look, again, don't start none, won't be none. Donnell Rawlings just admitted to breaking the rule of addressing a man while he's on stage. Like, talking to somebody while they're on stage, like, that really is... I know people understand who aren't artists. But Donnell know that's very personal. The stage is a very personal, sacred space, and Donnell knows this. When you cross that line, that's like stepping into somebody's house uninvited. Imagine you in your house frying up some chicken, watching the Laker game or whatever. Your door might be open and unlocked because you trying to get a breeze to come through, and somebody just, and they may be a neighbor, somebody you low key know. But even worse yet, imagine the neighbor you really don't fuck with coming to your door and just opening it and stepping in your living room while you minding your own business. How would you feel? I'm not even saying they stepping in with a gun or a threat. I'm just saying you minding your own business in your own home and your neighbor you don't like just walks in your door. How would you feel? That's how it will feel when it feels like a violation when you on stage and another comic does what he does. Let me see if I can find that video. Let's see if I can find it. If Laugh Factory, they'll get some shit taken down your ass. This is the video right here. I'm going to go to TMZ. TMZ has the video. Let me close this. This is the video in question right here. I just want to make it very clear. This is the video in question.
You mouth sauce, my nigga, mild.
That's Corey on stage and Donnell in the audience.
Also, my nigga Mild. M-I-L-D.
Come on, TMZ. What in the hell?
You catch up. You ain't.
The fuck? I'll find it on Twitter.
Hot
Here it is.
Nobody agree? So I'm wrong. Okay, I can be wrong. I'm talking about, but we at the what is this called? This is the Laugh Factory. We was at the Savoy, you wouldn't be able to be up here that long. The niggas be like, get your whole ass down, nigga.
I came up in the hardest rooms in
This is him crashing out.
and
What happened?
you ain't never with them
You
rooms.
just yelling. Calm
Because
down.
I don't have a mic. I can talk to you straight up. You want to talk about it? You saying I'm mild. You saying I ain't come through the streets or the gutters is straight bull. And if you want to ask somebody, ask the mother that you know what I do.
Dude.
Okay, all right. Listen. This be fair. Fair conversation.
That's Larry, way to go.
No. Let's be fair. Let's be fair and real.
What's up with this nigga in the word fair? You're not being fair to Corey right now. What's up with the word? This nigga love that word fair.
You say you keep it 100. Know how I get down.
How?
32. I rip.
You rip mics?
I rip. You ask any ever see me bomb. Anybody. And you ask anybody that don't know me, I keep it gangster.
I don't say you
No,
bum.
you trying to say I'm a bum. I ain't no bum.
No, I ain't say
And that
you bum.
saw.
Your is mild. It's mild.
You know what? You know what you're doing now? You're a provocateur. You know how to
He's calling. This dude can't take any kind of accountability. How is somebody a provocateur and they're on stage doing? On stage, you're on stage. He's where he needs to be to talk shit. You talk shit on stage.
white people. Ain't nothing mild about my.
People look at you.
Ain't nothing.
If you was at the mall, they'll put you out with your hot dog in your hand.
And guess what? You can say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say. You calling me a mild comic is totally off.
So you a strong cop.
I'm a beast. I'm a beast. I'm a beast.
That's right.
And TMZ highly edited that because he was looking way worse than that. So you see already what it is. So now y'all see what it is. So that was Donnell Rawlings, and that video kind of came late from what I heard. Got a lot of friends that were there. Donnell Rawlings started that shit a few minutes before that video came out. So you basically see Gillie and Wallo, they on some silly shit. Again, this is Corey Holcomb's interview, and they still call Donnell Rawlings. And, you know, that was on some... I had a phone call, a conversation with Larry earlier, because I was telling Larry that, man, these niggas is a little bit too silly. And I'm a silly nigga. But these dudes, this interview here, so it was a little bit too much instigating going on because, again, like Corey said, men don't fight. Men kill when they go to war. And I'm not saying these two brothers will, but I don't believe in fanning the flames between two black men. You dig what I'm saying? I believe in fanning the flames all day. Like what's going on right now with Bill Maher, how a lot of the left is going against Bill Maher since he met with Trump. That dude, all them left-wingers, I believe in fanning they flames. Let's fan the flames over there. Like, ooh. Like, let's go to Bill Maher and be like, ooh, James Carville said you ain't liberal no more. Ooh. That's what we need to be doing with them. Ooh, you met with Trump. MSNBC don't like you no more. Rachel Maddow said you changing. Ooh. Do that with them. You don't instigate shit between two black men. Like, what the fuck? This is off-code behavior. Straight up. Straight up. These two dudes, Corey and Donell, are in the same city. Oftentimes, even though Donell be in New York, like he be in LA a lot. Like I see Donell, I've never talked to him, but I see him around the comedy clubs at least 3 or 4 times a year, and I don't even go up to them white clubs that much. So he be out here fairly regularly, and they be on the road. Like these cats run across each other in airports. Why would you want to fan the flames of people who got to see each other in airports? That's just a serious question. Man to man to Gillie and Wallo. I understand content and ratings, but bruh, y'all 50. I digress. So let's go further into it.
We could beef, we could not with each other, but to bring my family into it, like that's the grimy part.
Hey, when it get grimy, it get grimy. When it get grimy, it get grimy. That's why I don't really like disrespecting people, because everything go when it go there. Everything go.
That's true.
Well, if your character is...
That's not a character thing, what you call it, Donnell Rawlings. That's just a man talk. When it go there, it go there. It goes there when it goes there. That's why you gotta, to all the people out there, like, they're just this new thing, and like my generation, it's very easy for me to blame it on this whole Drake generation, these young guys. But Donnell Rawlings is older than me. He older than me. Like, bruh, fellas, if you got a young bull that you around, a young man, your sisters, your kids, your sister's children, your brother's children, or whatever, we gotta really watch out for our youngsters, man, our young men. Because these are the old niggas. If they decide to, let's say like, imagine you 15, 20 years old, you grew up on academics, now you listening to Kai Cenat and I Show Speed and those guys, and then when you go to flip over to where the adult men are, you see Cam and Mason, these cool, clean suits, but they always beefing with somebody, talking about a whole bunch of young boy shit. You got Gillie and Wallo instigating beefs between grown black men. These are the old niggas. If the young dudes 15, 20, 25 years old want to go outside that academics, young kid streamer bubble that ain't teaching them nothing and go seek out, hire older folks for some wisdom, this is the wisdom right here. Yes, it's going to be funny, but communication is more than just the words, it's the behaviors. They're going to laugh, but in the back of their mind, they see 2 grown-ass men instigating this shit, and then they hear Donnell Rawlings talk and say, man, but that wasn't fair. Like, that's not the real world. We got to prepare these youngins for the real world out there, not the world in here, the real world. The real world don't give a fuck about how a man feels, no matter what the race. 3 times as much as a black man. Nobody cares, and nobody gives a fuck about fair either. Donnell Rawlings, you should know better, old man. Since when the fuck is this world giving a shit about fair? We gotta deal with the world that we live in, not the world that we want. Let me go. I'm gonna go further on into this interview.
That's it. And like you say, nothing is off limits. I do consider certain things off limits. And if you want to sit up here and tell everybody, but you don't care about what nobody think about you, that's where your honesty comes from. But if you...
Well, I didn't say... Did I say I don't care what nobody think about me? I don't know. It matters, but I'm saying, like, with you, it's always been envy. Because I'm the guy that I ain't with Dave Chappelle traveling, nor with... You with Dave Chappelle because you great to open. You an opener. You don't close out tours and stuff like that. They be like, yeah, put him on. Let him go up there and say something in the beginning.
Let me say, all right, I'm going to let you talk. I'm not going to yell.
Yeah, okay, then. You like the little preacher that just started out. They let him go up there and say something for the main preacher go up there who going on with the money.
I'm going to be smart to raise my hand. Guess what? I don't open for anybody.
What?
You ever see me? Listen to what I'm saying.
See, you see, Donnell the whole time is just like, this dude won't stop talking. Young black men, nobody's going to hear you. That's not realistic. Okay? You lose. People lose respect for you as a man. And this is no disrespect to Donnell Rawlings. I'm just speaking in general, not necessarily about Donnell Rawlings himself. But people lose respect for men who communicate like bitches. And when I use the word bitch, that doesn't necessarily mean woman. Because there are women who know how to communicate properly. The word bitch in this term is gender neutral. In this context that I'm speaking in. Just bitching, just they may tolerate it from a woman for a short while. Even a woman can't play that card forever. But a man can play that card never. That's the world we live in, no matter how you feel about it. Fuck your feelings. I need you to go to intellectualpower.net and get yours right now. Type in the product code DBrown for 10% off. We also got Peace Pads at Peace. All the links are in the description, and my moms are posting the links right now. And we have 2 events coming this Friday and Saturday in Compton. Friday at the Compton Airport, Saturday in Compton. There is a reproductive health event Saturday that's going to be going on. Solutions. I'm going to get on stage and crack a few jokes. So make sure you're there around noonish if you want to see me crack them jokes. And then let the scientists speak. Some of the scientists that were part of the Disinformation Dozen will be here in Compton at the Compton Airport on Friday answering your questions. All right? But back to what we're talking about right here. Also, go to blitzcapsules.com for the Amanita. Ooh, these things here. And these are, you type in the product code DeWanB. Buy 2, get 1 for free. I need one right now. I'm gonna take some of these right now. I'm going to go see Sinners. So I might take some of these before I go. I already have my intellectual power for the morning and for the afternoon. But anyway, I digress. So this is what we're talking about here. We're talking about these men that no one respects a man that just listen to me, I feel, this is not fair. Nobody cares in the real world. A young black man, you 25 years old, you got a job? Stop doing your job and start talking about your feelings and ask how long and see how long you keep that job. Okay, you don't want to work for somebody? Fine. Open up your own business. First of the month, rent is due. And nobody's going to say on the 31st of the month, listen to you go, yeah, I don't know, it's not fair. I'm in here, I sprained my ankle, I miss work. The milk is spoiled. I don't have my rental time. Yeah. You know what your landlord gonna say? You got 3 days. Shit, listen to me, goddammit. I've been managing buildings now for 15 years. I'm cool with all my tenants. That's because all my tenants pay. And they pay on time. And out of 15 years, I've only had to evict less than a handful. But them less than a handful, we was cool too. Till it was time to pay rent. And they didn't have it. And then the next month came. They didn't have last month or that month. LA County Sheriffs, please. Yes. Can you serve that eviction? Thank you and have a good night. The world don't care about a man bitching. That's why I wanted to bring this up.
Did you just say you don't open for anybody?
Wait, we're going to another one.
But your game is like it is, and what you keep doing is reliving your past. When are you gonna be somebody else?
Get it up. All right, man. So next time you see Dave, man, tell him I ain't mean no harm. I just was saying what I saw.
Guess what?
And then you go on stage before the real people do.
I would not even give you the pleasure of mentioning your name to him, son. For what?
Well, he mentioned my name. He said
that's Donnell, more bitching, but it's another point I want to get to.
Yeah, I don't like that here.
I take friends and family over here any day. You can take all it.
He on that, but I'm just saying. I was
you
like,
mean?
where that nigga go?
You can't say nothing to somebody on stage. I don't know how to go. What's the etiquette?
Wait.
Son, for what?
Well, he mentioned my name. But then after you did that thing at the comedy, the Laugh Factory, that's when I was like, oh, that jealousy.
Let me go back. The jealousy part.
Let you open.
You're crazy.
Guess who laughed? Guess who laughed?
You're crazy, man.
What? It's real shit. I'm talking about facts. You talking hypothetically.
Y'all just need to do a battle,
Come
man.
on, man. Don't be putting out there.
He put his out there when he sat between the nigga legs when he was
No, I ain't gonna co-sign that. Listen,
was that before or after?
Listen, y'all need to do a battle. Y'all just need to battle it out.
Can we just
let the fans?
Can we pay for this?
Say this. You said this, Corey. You said this. You said.
Listen to them trying to instigate a battle, but let's go.
Dave Chappelle said you was one of the top 5. The interesting thing about that, a lot of your peers feel the same way about you. I've said on platforms, your style, how you do it, how you can have people on the edge and you bring them back. I said that. And a lot of peers respect you on that. But the loss of respect is the dumb shit you say to instigate that don't nobody give a other than you bring it up.
I wouldn't have never spoke to you if you wouldn't have yelled out. So I used to speak to you just out of respect. But then after you did that thing at the comedy, the Laugh Factory, that's when I was like, oh, that jealousy came out. But it happens to me a lot, so I ain't mad at you. It ain't nothing.
So hold on, wait, hold on,
I
fellas.
want to say this, Corey. Corey, let me say this, please. The funny thing about you saying the jealousy, when I look, and I heard you say it before, I look at my IBM, I want you to
look at what?
explain.
The
Please
IB what?
tell me please tell me what does Donnell Rawlings have to be jealous of Corey Holcomb for? I'm just trying to say that.
I got hair.
You got what?
I got hair. Right. I'm just saying stupid now because I ain't mad at you, dude. It seems like.
So you see, what the reason why I played that part is what you see from Corey. Corey's doing a masterful job of tension diffusion. If Corey wanted to escalate the situation right there, this was a masterclass on low key. I didn't even catch this at first when I first saw it. I got to give Corey credit right here. Because we all know Corey is ignorant as hell. You know what I mean? 5150. But what Corey did right here was just masterful. If I'm diffusing some tension, when Donnell Rawlings asked, what do I have to be jealous of? Corey could have said, because you're mild, I do, because Corey, he does, when he goes on tour, when he goes out, I tried to see Corey last year at the Improv, and this shit was, the whole weekend was sold out. You know what I mean? And it was, because I tried to get my tickets too late. And I'm not no bum-ass nigga that's going to be like, hey, Corey, give me some tickets. No, when I go to see Corey, I buy them. And we were about to buy some tickets. We couldn't go. Corey would do 9 shows in a weekend. He could have easily big boy and son Donnell Rawlings on his work. but he didn't do it. He just said, because I got here. Something silly, something off point. Let's go back and watch that part again. Because it made Donnell, because Donnell Rawlings is turned up. He's tuned up. He's tight. These other two silly ass niggas is trying to instigate a war. Listen to Donnell Rawlings changing tone from that.
Say this, please.
Go ahead.
The funny thing about you said it, jealousy, when I look, and I heard you say it before, I look at my IBM, I want you to
look at what? The IB what?
Please tell me what does Donnell Rawlings have to be jealous of Corey Holcomb for? I'm just trying to say that.
I got hair.
No. You got what?
I got hair.
Right.
I'm just saying stupid now, because I ain't mad at you, dude. It seems like it's getting too intense with you. The white on the side of your mouth now and shit.
Ha 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 ha. Ha. You know what?
You and Les should have a battle. That's more.
Corey said, look, man, he sees it. It's getting too intense. I yield. The white shit on the side of your mouth is getting crusty. Crack a few jokes, and you saw Donnell Rawlings stop in his tracks. And he even had to go the sarcastic ha. He really wanted to laugh, but he knew he couldn't. But he did a great job of diffusing the situation. And that's a way to diffuse situations when you see somebody's really, really going. Just throw a curveball. When things get real tight, when you argue with somebody, just throw a curveball or don't say nothing in return. Throw a curveball and that releases pressure. And that's what Corey just did. It's like when you play defense, they cheated for the Denver Nuggets the other day against the Clippers because every time Kawhi Leonard pulled the chair from Aaron Gordon leaning up against Kawhi, and Kawhi just pulled a chair back off Aaron Gordon's phone. It should have been called a travel, but the refs were calling it a foul because they want the white boy to get out the first round, Jokic. But that was perfect defense. And the pull a chair defense can also work in communication. People are standing on something, just pull back what they're standing on. You called me this, you called me that. No, I didn't. I called you this. Now what they standing on ain't firm ground anymore because you done moved the foundation over here. Great conflict resolution skills.
I don't know it's like you. You sit at the pool between their legs.
You know but you don't know fine.
I do know some other.
No, what about the fine?
You sit at the pool between men's legs. Let's go back to that part. You see, the reason why Corey's able to get back to the jokes is because he pulled the tension out. He let some steam go and then go right back to clapping. That was a lesson that I learned from Memphis Will when I first started doing stand-up comedy. One of my first times roasting the audience, I went too far. I called the dude a bitch and all kind of shit. I was clowning the fuck out that dude. But I called him an old bitch-ass nigga and everything, and he was sitting on the side. Larry was there. He was sitting on the side, shaking his leg, and everybody was laughing. But the owner and then Memphis Will pulled me to the side. Was like, hey, DeJuan, you can go in on the audience. You can say what you want to say. But you got to learn how to pull back to get more. You pull back, you get more. It's an art to this. Pull back, give them more. Hit the like button, man. We got 560 people in here and only 214 likes. What the fuck is y'all problem? Hit the like button now, please. Thank you. Thank you. So he pulled the chair from him, and then he gets right back out. Let's listen to this part.
Appearance, so you judge the man.
So you agree with me? That's all I wanted. Now I won.
Nigga, I ain't never would say I was pretty. What I'm saying is, who do you think is fine, and who can get it from you, Corey? Since I'm ugly, who the fine you know? Tell me who fine.
I don't know fine. It's like you. You sit at the pool between their legs.
But you know, but you don't know fine.
I do know some other.
No, what about the fine ones? Then you got to compare it to something. Who pretty to you?
I have never called a man fine.
Damn,
I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
you call it ugly or who handsome? Who's good looking?
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, who's
You ain't say some.
This nigga Donnell Rawlings is mad because Corey called him ugly. Yo, man, ugly is a safe joke on niggas because all niggas are ugly. I don't care. Every black man, white man. Like, if you a man watching this show right now, let me tell you something. You an ugly motherfucker. All niggas is ugly. Why are you offended at that, Donnell Rawlings? There's never been a pretty man. All these niggas is ugly, even when they try to look pretty. Niggas are ugly as fuck. Why are you mad? The only thing pretty is a woman and nature. Nature's pretty. Women are pretty. Men are like rocks. Would you ever call a rock pretty? No, man, rocks are just there. There's a bunch of them around. I never another rock. I ain't never seen it say, "Ooh, look at that rock. It sure is pretty." No, all men are ugly. What the fuck is he mad at that for?
This is crazy.
I ain't never said nothing out of pocket to that until he said something to me. Shit.
I'm trying to figure out what he said.
I'm on stage. He yelling.
So that was for the most part it.
For some reason, Mr. Holcomb don't understand, and it don't even matter what I do on stage. You can put the narrative out there, me and everything. Not one that has ever come to my show call it that. So if it's a battle, if it's a whatever it is, I ain't scared of that.
So let me ask you a question.
I know you ain't scared of shit. You sit between the nigga legs at a swimming pool.
Yo, come on, man.
That's what they did.
Yo, come on, man, with that. Come on with that.
You sit between the nigga legs at the pool.
Come on, man. We talking about the battle, man. We talking about the battle.
That's open for you.
Yo, come on, man. Yo, this is bitch.
I'll say this.
I'm still keeping the joke.
No, but listen.
He over there stressing out.
When y'all gonna have a battle,
you
man?
You gonna have a heart attack, man. You got that dope in your system.
So go back and watch the whole interview. I'm not gonna play everything from that part, but go back and watch the whole interview. You saw Donnell Rawlings crashing out. It got out of order. It got real crazy, and the lesson that I see right here is, fellas, man, look, it really don't matter what other men think about you. It don't. Don't allow another man to control you. Even if somebody vehemently does not like what you do and they think that what you do is the worst shit ever, so what? Donnell's over here making himself look like a goddamn fool and an idiot over Corey Holcomb's opinion. Why do you care so much about Corey Holcomb's opinion? From that time I saw you at the Improv on that Monday night, jumping up on the bar and talking about something, now who out? Corey wasn't even there, nigga. That was a year ago. Well, that's longer than a year ago now. About a year ago. But it's not cool. And I think that it lowers Donnell Rawlings, because I think that Donnell Rawlings is funny. I do. I'll never call it. He's not mild to me. But this is mild behavior that he's doing right now. Crying at another grown-ass man because of what another grown-ass man feels about his comedy. Crashing out. You addressed that man while he was on stage at work. Breaking the rule that you know exists. Now you want to cry and complain and bitch and moan because he got you back better than you got him? That's not cool. And yeah, Gillie and Wallo, that worked. It worked like a motherfucker. You guys instigated something. But people who watch 5150, we was going to watch this interview regardless. The 5150 fan base was going to watch this interview regardless, whether this exchange happened or not. But even with the exchange happening, y'all over here pushing it on and egging it on, and that's lame too. Salute to Corey for navigating this interview the way he did. Salute to Corey for still keeping it light but keeping it funny. and sticking with them and the different directions the interview turned. But this is my first time watching a full episode of the person. The only thing I really know about Wallo is it was some issue between him and Charleston White, and he had that video of him talking about one of them two had an issue with Charleston White over something. I didn't get into that. I thought that shit was a clown show. And then this whole situation with Wallo going around talking about black businesses. But now I see, just 2 weeks after he going around talking about black businesses, I see how he run his black business, and I see why he's projecting all the worst thing onto black businesses. He's running his black business like a fucking clown show, trying to get two black men to fight each other who already got a beef. I'm just, and I'm not saying anything direct or personal to Gillie or Wallo. I don't know enough about either one of them. But I do know, although I'm a square, I know the streets. I'm a South Central LA raised brother that kept my ass out the streets. And one thing about the streets is no different than the corporate streets. It's no different than the political streets. You don't instigate beef unless you want to start a war. The only time you instigate beef between men, politicians do it, the media does it, but they do it with the intentions on starting and keeping war going on. You can't on one hand be critical of black people and talk this and that and what we need to do to get our businesses right, and then go and try to instigate a war the next minute. You don't do that. What's up, new down there? You said, that's not my behavior, that's Moist. I'll roll with that. I'll roll with that, Aries. I'll roll with that. But just as a man, you don't fan when there's already smoke and a little bit of small fan. There's a small flame going on. There's been a small flame going on between these two for a year now. You don't come with your carpet and do this and fan it. That's not cool. And Donnell Rawlings, you don't get to throw stones and hide your hand. If you throw stones and you disrespect somebody and you cross their boundary, which is a universal boundary for all of us creatives, you don't go into a creative person's space. You let creatives be free to be free and give them space to create. You don't do that, what you did. And if you do that like you did do that, then you're just going to have to suffer the consequences. You don't get to control how somebody else responds. So like my father told me, and a lot of you guys as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles told you, what's our old black American rule, folks? Don't start none, won't be none. And I say that, and this is still with respect to Gillie and Wallo. I want them to keep making their money. I want them to keep doing what they do. I'm just talking about this from a social point of view. Them brothers ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm gonna say certain shit that ain't right. I'm gonna make some moves that ain't right. That's just human to make moves that ain't right. But all humans are up to being corrected if we want our greater humanity and our greater society to move forward. Some people don't give a fuck about humanity and society. Some people just care about their own pockets. Some people just care about their own pockets. As a matter of fact, they said that too earlier in the interview. Let's talk about
pocket has so many.
Let's talk about Stephen A. Smith. Some people only care about their own pockets, and that's fine too. But
league, but every day I'm like,
let me see, where's that part? Let me see if I can find it.
Ew.
I mean, if they gave him like
right here, yeah, I went right to it. They're talking about Stephen A. Smith's money. Listen to what they say about the money part. This is why you gotta be careful when it's all about the money.
Weird. Because I used to be a big fan of Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith, when I did the Shaq All-Star, he was sitting in this audience right next to Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the first people that spoke to me after I got off stage, and I had like a real strong set and everything. So at one time it was cool, but it's just when I watch what he does on ESPN, I just feel like he's their boy. He's ESPN's boy. That's how I feel.
I mean, if they gave him like
a bag.
100-some million.
Yeah, this boy.
They gave him a bag.
He should be their boy. They gave him the 100-some million.
Well, I'm saying like
right there. I guess that's the mindset we're dealing with here. You can say what you want about Corey, but the brother does have a principle. The line is that I'm not gonna make my people look silly for a bag. You can't pay me enough to make my people look silly. And right there, this is the part before they called Donnell Rawlings. Will he need to get $100 million? For $100 million, I'll say anything for $100 million. Man, you give me $100 million, I'll slap my mama for $100 million. Give me $1 million, $100 million. But then to go around and use that same microphone and be like, but black folks don't stick together. Those be the main ones. That's why I don't listen to people that come around talking about black people don't stick together. Usually when you hear black people talk about black people not sticking together, those are usually black people who won't stick with other black people. All you gotta do is give them. You ain't gotta get him. You can get him $100 million. Just give that nigga $10. Give me $100. Fuck that nigga for $100. Man, you give me $100? Shit. Give me $1,000. I turn in my daddy for $1,000. There you have it, folks. There you have it. So when people want to instigate beefs and talk like this, everybody gets to do what they want to do. I'm not telling nobody what to do, not to do. I'm not the authority on that, nor is it my place to tell Gillie and Wallo how to run their show. They just got $100 million. And they got $100 million on Barstool Sports. I had to block Barstool Sports on Twitter like in 2020. Like I used to follow them, but you know you unfollow, but you still get their shit. I had to actually go so far as to block them. That's how extremely racist Barstool Sports is. So Barstool Sports said, let's give these people $100 million. Give me $100 million. Very racist platform. Very racist platform Barstool Sports is. Just when you see their Twitter, the way they title things, where they instigate things, they like to really target and minimize black men in sports. All right, so I'm about to get up out of here. Hit the like button and make sure for those of you in here, when I end this video, can you do me a favor and leave a comment after the video? That helps the video in the algorithm. If you leave a comment after the video is over with. Respectfully, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. And then I will be doing a review on the movie Sinners. I'll probably be coming back live again with y'all tonight. If I don't come back live with y'all tonight, it'll be the first thing tomorrow morning. All right? With a review of the movie Sinners. Go to my Patreon for my music shit and all that other good stuff. All right? DewanB.com for all my merch and my t-shirts and all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all again for listening. Remember, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. You ain't gonna see me settle out for no $100 million. Fuck that. I'll take $100 million. But not for that corny shit. I mean, I get it on my own. All right? Thank y'all again. I'm out.